Hello everyone, myself Manjusha Sanap, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry from Shivajirao S. Zundari College of Pharmacy, Asangaon. Today's topic for my lecture is paper chromatography. Paper chromatography, it is a type of chromatography. Chromatography, it is a powerful separation method that used to separate the different mixtures. Paper chromatography is an analytical method to separate the color chemical or substances. It is first introduced by German scientist Christian Friedrich Schoben in 1865. Paper chromatography is the simplest and widely used chromatographic technique because it is used in isolation, identification, quantitative determination of organic and inorganic compound. Then principle of separation by paper chromatography. Paper chromatography involves a partition chromatography wherein the substances are distributed or it is partitioned between two liquid phases. So paper chromatography is nothing but the partition chromatography because one phase is the water. So water which is held in the pores of filter paper is act as a one stationary phase or one liquid phase, and other is the mobile phase which is moves over the paper. So therefore paper chromatography is considered as a means the principle of paper chromatography is partition chromatography. The compounds in the mixture get separated due to their difference in affinity towards the water. Water means a stationary phase and mobile phase solvents during the movement of mobile phase under the capillary action of pores in the paper. There are two types of paper chromatography: paper adsorption chromatography, paper partition chromatography. So, paper adsorption chromatography means a paper impregnated with silica or alumina act as a adsorbent, that is a stationary phase, and solvent as a mobile phase. And normally paper it is a partition chromatography because the water which is present in the pores of cellulose fibers, it act as a stationary phase, and another mobile phase is used as a solvent. Then what are the requirements? Which things are needed for practical of paper chromatography? The stationary phase, that is a paper. Then sample application, mobile phase, development techniques, and detecting or visualizing agents. Stationary phase. So which type of paper is used as a stationary phase? So Whatman filter paper with different grades, like it is available as a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 20, number 40 and number 42. It used as a stationary phase in paper chromatography. In general, this paper contains 98 to 99% of alpha cellulose and only 0.3 to 1% beta cellulose. So, which factor that we govern for the choice of paper? The nature of sample and solvent use, based on quantitative or qualitative analysis, based on thickness of the paper. So we can modify the papers as per our sample. So how we modified the papers? See, acid or base wash filter paper, glass fiber type paper. Okay, then hydrophilic papers means that papers is modified with methanol, formaldehyde, glycol, glycerol, etc. Hydrophobic papers, that is acetylation of OH groups, leads to hydrophobic nature and it used generally in reverse phase chromatography. So then paper is impregnation with silica, alumina, ion exchange resin, they also be used. Then how to prepare the paper for the paper chromatography? So we can cut the paper into a desired shape and size depending upon work to be carried out. The starting line mark on the paper with ordinary pencil. Okay, from the 5 centimeter from the bottom edge. On that starting line, we have to make a mask for the sample. Then preparation of solution. The choice of suitable solvent for making the solution is very important. Pure solutions can be applied direct on the paper, but solids are always dissolved in small quantity of suitable solvents. Biological tissues are treated with suitable solvent and their extracts are obtained. Protein can be precipitated with alcohol and salt can be removed by treatment with ion exchange resins. So now how to apply the sample. Application of the sample. Sample which is to be applied is dissolved in the mobile phase and applied as a small spot on the starting line using a capillary tube. A very low concentration is used to avoid the larger zone. Spot is dried on the filter paper and then it is placed in the developing chamber. Choice of solvent, that is a mobile phase. Commonly employed solvents are the polar solvent, but the choice depends on the nature of the substances to be separated. If pure solvents do not give satisfactory separation, a mixture of solvent of suitable polarity may be applied. Mobile phase. Pure solvents, buffer solutions or mixture of solvents are used as a mobile phase. Examples are hydrophilic mobile phase. Generally, for example, isopropanol, ammonia, water in 9s to 1s to 2 portion. Methanol and water in 4s to 1 portion. N-butanol, glacial acetic acid and water in 4s to 1s to 5 portion. These are the hydrophilic mobile phase. Now hydrophobic mobile phase. Generally dimethyl ether as to cyclohexane as to 70% isopropanol is used as a hydrophobic mobile phase. Now chromatographic chamber. So chromatographic chamber are made up of many material like glass, plastic, stainless steel. Glass tanks are preferably used. They are available in various shapes or sizes depending upon the paper length and development type. The chamber atmosphere should be saturated with solvent vapor. So in our lab purpose, generally we use 250 ml glass beaker which is covered with a petri plate. Okay, so those solvent we use as a mobile phase. We pour that solvent into that beaker and we covered it with aluminum foil so that chamber is get saturated with the solvent vapor. There are different methods for the development of chromatogram. So the modes of paper chromatography based on the way of development of chromatogram. On paper is done in procedures. We have broadly 5 modes of chromatography. So these are the 5 methods for the development of chromatogram: ascending, descending, descending, circular, or it is called as a radial, and the fifth one is 2-dimensional. These are the different methods for the development of chromatogram. Now what is ascending techniques? See, it is observed in this diagram also. See the diagram. When the development of paper is done by allowing the solvent to travel up the paper, it is known as a ascending technique. It is shown in the diagram. So that beaker, at the bottom of that beaker or that TLC chamber, a solvent or mobile phase is there, and that mobile phase is travel upside. The chromatogram of this technique ascends slowly due to the mobile phase movement in upward direction. The solvent is kept at the bottom of the filter paper or stationary phase with the end of the filter paper dipped in. The component mixture spot is kept well above the solvent level. It is not allowed to touch this spot. This is the ascending technique. Descending technique. Descending technique means when the development of the paper is done by allowing the solvent to travel down the paper. It is known as a descending technique. The mobile phase in this type is kept at the top of the chromatogram and component of the mixture separate out downwards due to the gravity and capillary action of the filter paper. The advantages of this method is the development is faster because it works with the gravity. Third method is ascending descending technique. It is a hybrid of above two techniques. It's called as ascending descending. Only length of separation is increase. First ascending is takes place followed by descending. Overall shows a bidirectional movement of the mixture of components. So for the here only the length of separation is increased. This is the advantages of this method. Then circular or radial techniques. This type of technique is generally we done in our laboratory. So in this type a paper chromatography, a solvent moves from the center towards the peripheral region of the filter paper. The radiating mixture component is allowed to spread till all the components have separated out. For precaution, the entire system is covered with the help of Petri plate or Petri dish. The center of paper is